Well, back to the chicken videos, because that's fun. Here's our bulk feeder. I just put 80 pounds of feed in it. Today we're gonna build a new feeder. It's bulk feeder. You can buy these kind of things on the internet, but I like to make them myself. What I have is this trash barrel, but I've ended up putting this strap around it because you can see with age and the weight of the feed inside has caused it to split, and it just makes a mess. It's actually not a big deal because the birds eat it all anyways, but I wanted to kind of show how I built this thing, especially now that there's so many people out buying chickens apparently. My rooster doesn't like me. But it's a cool way to bulk feed your birds. I like to have food always available for them. They're free range, as you can see. They have this whole big... Hey buddy, I'm trying to make a video over here. You're killing me. They've got this whole pasture that free range. They come in this little coop at night, and that's their nesting box up there. Anyways, this is gonna be a kind of a fun video. Dude, you're killing me. What's up? All right, I'll get to it. He's a little bit upset with me. I gotta keep my eyes on him these days. Not only does he not like me, but he's starting to get aggressive. He's only about 7 months old, but he likes to sneak up behind me and attack. I want to get it on film once because I think it's hilarious. He doesn't really know what he's doing yet, but he's a good bird. All right, here's my chicken feeder. This one's about 2 years old or so. Here's my thing for fixing sprinklers. Here's a little peek at the inside. We're gonna go through the whole process of making a new one, but you can see right there, the chickens, they get a little anxious and, you know, they'll pick the plastic apart. These holes in this lid are from the birds actually pecking at it. But with the heat here in Arizona and the weight of the food in here, remember it all spreads out. This split, so then it started dumping food out. I put this strap on and I wrapped it around so it put pressure on the top and bottom of the one that was weak. But basically what happens for this feeder to work, you throw the feed in here, and these PVC things, they're just 90-degree elbows. And I cut a little, I call it a doghouse out of the edge there. I'll give you a little better perspective here shortly. But when you're looking at it, it's sitting level, and you can kind of see the light through it there. You want to cut it about that height. So what happens is when you throw the feed in this bucket or garbage can, the feed will not go out the hole. The chicken has to, they have to stick their head in the hole to get the feed. So we'll go through and we'll make a new one, and we'll go set it out there. I'm just gonna use this barrel that I've got at the house already. Home Depot's closed. It's Sunday, 6 o'clock. So we'll just get to it. Okay, we're running out of daylight. It might not look like it, but we are. So this is a 3.5-inch hole saw. Here's what I've got. Yeah, I got a hose out at the bottom of this barrel, but see the ribs here on the garbage can? I'm gonna drill a hole and push that through right there. On this old feeder, I had 3 of them. I don't need 3. I've got 14 birds. I've had as many as, or I think I have 16. These chicks, there's 24 of those, so pretty soon I'll have over 30 again. I don't need that much, so I'm just gonna do 2. And I'm gonna set them inside these narrower ribs. The reason I'm doing that is those ribs are gonna give this some rigidity, some strength. So I'm gonna drill those holes and I'll set those in place. The cool thing about this system is when it breaks 2 or 3 years down the road or something, it might last longer anymore, I don't know. That's the cheapest barrel I could find. This one's kind of fancy. You can reuse this black PVC. It's a 3-inch 90-degree elbow. So I'm just gonna reuse those. Really, all you gotta do is cut, well, I'll give you some measurements if you want, but it looks like about 2 inches off of that to make that little doghouse out of it. I cut these too high and it kind of spilled out on the ground, so I wrapped it in duct tape, and the duct tape seems to be perfect. It's kind of weird, it might seem a bit hokey, but this gives the birds almost a month's worth of food out of that one barrel. It's awesome. So, got a charge. Here's where it gets hokey. You want to get it spinning, and then just let it sink in. It gets through super easy, but it's kind of weird. Then what you're going to do, you got your nice little hole there. Force this through. Okay, after some finagling, and there it is. You can see the inside of the barrel, and the birds will just stick their head in there, grab their feed, and then do this other side real quick, and we'll I'm gonna put the strap back on. I'll explain that as I fill it up with feed. Don't laugh. Here's my measuring device. About right there is the bottom. I want the hole right there. Like I said, it gets weird. That's it. You're only going through 1/8 inch plastic. It bites, it bites. We got our other doghouse here. Stuff that in. And business. Okay, so now that I'm sweating like a stuck pig, let's take a gander. Here's what the inside looks like. I'm gonna hose it out, clean it up a little bit, and then we'll throw the feed in. We'll put the strap on real quick, it's self-explanatory. Okay, it's all cleaned out, we got the strap on. I'm gonna go set it in the coop, and then I'll throw a couple bags of feed in and we'll check it out. If you're looking at Pinterest for chicken coop ideas, you are not going to see my coop on there. So I have these cinder blocks to keep the feeder up out of the dirt. The reason I do that is we have irrigation here. So my irrigation goes basically to the bottom of the barrel there. You got to make sure your birds are tall enough to be able to get their head in there to grab the feed. That's super simple. So we'll get some feed, we'll throw it in there, and they've surrounded me. It's almost like they're hungry. I got their feed. I think I can beeline it and make it. Okay, so I made it to the coop. They didn't get me. I'm gonna dump the 2 bags of feed in there. It's 40 pounds each. I used to do 50-pound bags, but whatever, same result. Let's see if I can do it one-handed. So now when you look in here, there's the feed. The chicken just sticks their little noggin in there and grabs the feed. Here's our bulk feeder. I just put 80 pounds of feed in it. I could probably put another 80. This right now, the 80 pounds with these chickens being free range, that'll probably last easy a month and a half, maybe 2. I don't want to overdo it. I keep the feed in the garage so it doesn't go bad. I don't know if it would or not, but what you need to do with your birds, if this is your first time with them eating on something like this, grab a handful of feed and set it right there. The birds are not that smart. You have to teach them how to drink as well, and I've built a drinking contraption for them too. I'll show you that in another video. But with them being able to get this feed like that, they're super curious. They'll start to realize if they stick their head in there, there's a limitless supply of food. So put the lid on, and we'll call it a day. I didn't totally explain very well the strap. So I put the strap around the top and the bottom of the holes I cut, the little feeder cups. That holds the weight of all that feed in there to keep that plastic barrel from stretching and breaking right there. I found it makes it last a lot longer. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take that water bucket inside for the baby chicks. I gotta clean it up. The big birds have a full-time watering contraption. I'll show you how I built that later.